Hey, welcome back. I'm out here today. Oh, my throat's kind of wonky today. But I'm out here today. Just first and foremost, I'm just out here. It's a nice day. It's about 48, 49 right now. There's not a lot of wind. So I'm just out here and taking a walk. I got a compass with me. I'm doing a little land navigation practice. I got a bottle bag, but I brought coffee because I'm also, last week was kind of, for lack of a better word or phrase, 5 years sobriety, and I didn't get a chance to get out and do a hike for that day like I usually try to do. So I'm doing it today. You know, some people go out and buy expensive cars. Some people go out and have expensive dinners, or if you're in AA, you get those little coins, I guess. I don't count the 2 weeks I was in the hospital because of my pancreas. I count from the day I got out as when my anniversary would be. And it was 5 years last week. So I'm just out here celebrating by a walk in the woods with some coffee. Kind of just didn't feel like bringing a stove and cooking anything or even making coffee, so I just brought some coffee. Also, got a book that I got for Christmas. It's a little early for this, I think, but I'm gonna wander around and see if I can identify some shrooms, maybe. I don't want to die, and I don't want to do trips. So my wife bought me a book. Probably still not going to harvest anything that I'm not absolutely positive on and eat them, but you know. So that's it. Maybe I'll film a little bit of the land navigation. I don't know. It's kind of tricky in here because it's kind of thick in a lot of areas. So your line of sight is because I'm doing my practice land navigation by a landmark from point A to point B to C and so forth. I took a reading where my car is, and right now I'm still on a trail, but I'm gonna head down the bank and back around and loop through, and like I said, so stick around if you want. All right, so I'm not sure if you can make it out, but right over there's a downed tree with the roots sticking up that's noticeably stands out from the rest of the woods. So let's take a reading for that direction. All right, let's make our way over to that landmark. All right. Now, let's look for something else a little ways off that stands out. We're trying to kind of down in this little ravine, and everything goes down that way. So I know over that way there's a field a few hundred yards, and the car is back that way. So next landmark that I can see, that I'm going to be able to see this from, because you want to be able to see the last landmark. So over there, there's some branches. So there's our reading to that. And always take a look back. Right up in that little clearing right there, above this tree, is kind of like where I came to this point. So now I'm going over there to where that tree is down, and you can see those branches. And then I'll look back and make another point. Always make sure you look back and forward when you're messing around out here in the woods, because sometimes when you get turned around, things look different if you haven't, at least made a checkpoint. Like over there, I know where that clearing is, and there's a small group of trees that I was kind of standing next to that I can make out. Yeah, I know there's a lot of trees, but I know I know where they are, and I can see them from here. All right, so let's go up here to this next point. Okay, so we got to here. Let's look back. I can see the tree that was down over there with the roots sticking up. So now I'm going to look for another area that I can see. All right. So I want to be veering. Oh. It looks like there's a sign for the trail right over there. So take a note of that. And yeah, it looks like a blue marker. So it's right there. So let's take a walk over and see if that's toward the trail at all. All right. It's definitely a trail marker. Yep. There's more. Huh. You have to be a little careful because this area is a little bit on the small side, and right on the other side of this ravine, that's private land. So I didn't want to go down into there, but I thought I went a little bit farther north. Well, there's the field I was talking about, one end of it. Well, all right. So we only did maybe, I don't know, I guess total 800 yards exercise. So from here, if this trail wasn't here, I would have picked that bunch of down branches and trees as my next point. And I could still see the other one. Then from there, I would have probably picked that tree that's right there. And then I would have started looping around, but since this isn't really big enough to do much, it is what it is. I guess just go find some place to just, let's just go hang around, walk around, and explore. See if we can find some shrooms. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this one. Kind of did a loop, some trail, some off trail, practicing from landmark to landmark with my compass, down through there, and around, back out here, and then walked the trail down through that way, and then came back up through this way, through the woods. tree that's over here kind of got a split in it here wide. Car should be like basically a few hundred yards right on this side. Yeah, so I guess that's it for this one. Nice way to spend an hour. Could have played video games or hung around on the internet. Instead, celebrating five by being out here in the woods. Turkey season's around the corner. I didn't come across any fungi, however you want to pronounce it. I think it's fungi. Like I said, might have been a little too early for that. But I know that was just an addition. The whole point was just to get out here, stretch my legs, be in nature. Hope maybe that little bit, tiny bit of what I was talking about with land nav, maybe it'll help somebody out a little. I mean, it's not so much really about how far. It's just about, probably got stuff hanging out of my nose. It's just about, you know, doing that, making sure that you can see your next point and going to that, looking back, making sure you saw where your last point was, then go to your next point. And sometimes, like here, where you got a tree canopy where a lot of the trees look alike, you can't go by, you know, higher up stuff. You know, that's more for like when you're more open range. So when you're in thick woods like this, like most of the Adirondacks, you gotta go short distance. You gotta kind of pick a landmark that you can see very clearly that stands out. Go to that. Look around. Pick out your next landmark. Go to that, then turn. Make sure you can see the last landmark. Like I said, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's worth repeating this. And then, you know, make sure you find your next landmark. Go to that. Turn around and look. That way you're also, you know what the woods look like if you have to come back. And a lot of people, you know, they just forge forward. And I like to take a minute, turn around and look. It kind of got instilled at me from hunting, because when you're hunting, sometimes deer will jump up, run around, and like come out behind you and stop. So you gotta, you know, you gotta look behind you too, especially for navigation. I do always suggest, I mean, use a map. Get a map. You know, if you need to, you can always just print a page from Google Maps on your home computer. It's better than nothing. But having a map of something is always better. But land navigation is kind of how I cut my teeth a little bit. I got turned around a couple times, but it was mostly more or less when I caught my bearings, I was able to get back out. But I didn't come out where I exactly went in. So that comes to a point where you get out to the road. Do you go left or do you go right? If you had a compass, you'd know which direction to go. Because if you took a bearing when you got out, at least so you know a direction, and you know your car was, say, southwest, and you come out, back out to the road, and you look at your compass again, you're going to know you got to go southwest, or, well, it would be more south. Yeah, you would want to go to your left, if that makes sense. Sorry. I've said in the past, I'm not always good at giving instructions, especially with something like this. I'm still not 100% always comfortable and used to talking to the camera. So, out to the road, and you know that, like for me, if I had made it out to the road, I took a reading on my compass, I would have known I had to go east. So I would know to go this way, not that way. So I'm just going where I shouldn't be. Now I guess that's it. Anyway, probably confused everybody. Probably looked silly. I don't care. That's it for this one. I'm gonna sit down and finish enjoying my coffee and head home, edit and upload this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.